Happy Labor Day weekend. I hope everyone's out traveling or getting to enjoy some time at the beach or picnic, even if you're not in the US. There's always a good reason to get out. But this week I'm going to switch things up a little bit and not talk about my favorites, Chase, Amex, United, Hyatt, Starwood. And TPG reader Ron asked me about Spirit Airlines and their World MasterCard from Bank of America, and is it worth it? And before I even answer the question, I will admit I've never stepped foot on a Spirit Airlines plane, and everyone that I know who has universally negative stories about lost baggage, poor customer service, fees. So I generally avoid them, but they do have a really extensive route map, which I'll paste below, and I know a lot of people do end up flying them. So if you do fly them, you should take a look at the World MasterCard because they do heavily promote it and give a lot of different perks. So the positives of the MasterCard are that you get the 15,000 point sign-up bonus with your first purchase, so there's no big spend requirement. And while 15,000 might seem low, Spirit does offer off-peak awards that start at 5,000 miles round trip. So you could fly from LaGuardia to Fort Lauderdale 3 times off-peak with that sign-up bonus, which could be a good value. I'll get into the negatives of that in a minute, but the $49 annual fee is waived the first year, which is nice. It's a World MasterCard, so you get a lot of great perks like primary rental car insurance. And it's issued by Bank of America, which is good for a couple reasons. Mostly that, I know so many people are getting American Express and Chase and Citi cards these days, so it's nice to be able to factor in one of the other issuers. And also Bank of America cards are generally churnable, which means you can get this card over and over again. Every 6 months to a year, you can just keep getting it. So if you do fly Spirit, you may be able to bank a lot of miles through this method. The bad part of this card is that it's Spirit Airlines, and they're known, as I said, for being a little crazy with their fees, and their program's called Free Spirit, but there's anything but Free Spirit with this program. It's dizzying. If you thought the 3 award tier charts on Delta were bad, Spirit actually has 4. So they've got off-peak, peak, standard, and premium, and there's a bunch of different zones, and then they also differentiate between their big seat, kind of light business class product versus regular, MasterCard versus non-MasterCard holders. So finding out the amount of points you need for an award can be absolutely confusing, even for the most expert points collector. On top of that, their website's horrible, and you actually have to call in to book all your awards and find out what's available. So for me personally, I don't have time to deal with a program like this. That being said, there still is some value to be had, especially if you know how to find those off-peak awards and you're a MasterCard holder. So overall, is this card for everyone? Probably not, but if you do fly Spirit and you want to save money on your next flight, it could make sense. So do the math, call Spirit, get an idea if the awards that you're going to redeem for are available through the off-peak method. Look at the dates where they have only premium or standard awards and decide if this card makes sense for you. And if you have any other experiences to the contrary, or if you love Spirit and disagree with me and think I'm being too hard on them, feel free to comment below.